Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is about 5 skincare products that have changed my skin or my skincare routine. Now, strictly speaking, it's really 5 types of product, or even if we're going to be pedantic, it's ingredients. But that would have been a really long and convoluted title. So I'm sticking with the 5 beauty products that changed my skin. For each product or type of product, I'm going to tell you what it does, how to use it, who it's best for. So if you do have some kind of skincare problem or concern, whether it's adult acne or dryness or fine lines or redness, then hopefully there is something here for you to target it or tackle it. Let's get started, shall we? First product, cleansing balm. So this is, I suppose, a general type of product category. Now, so many people still come and chat to me or email me or send me messages saying that they're at a total loss to know what to do with their skin. And when I ask them what they're using, quite often one of the first things they say is they never actually wash their face. They use wipes or they use cotton wool pads with cleanser. Use a proper cleanser. I honestly think it's just the foundation to everything, because if you don't cleanse properly, especially with today's formulations like foundations that are really long lasting, or maybe they've got sunscreen in, or both things, if you put something like that on the back of your hand, leave it on for a couple of hours, then just see how hard it is to get off from the back of your hand, and then think of all the layers that you've got on your face. You absolutely need something that can break down all those layers and then rinse it away easily. Preferably you want something you can use over your eyes as well, so you can use it on your eye makeup. And the thing about cleansing balms is that they're a sort of all over face solution. They're really pleasing to massage in. They break down into an oil. They're suitable for all skin types. Even if you've got oily skin, they rinse off clean. I'll give a few suggestions in the info box down below for you, but the majority of them won't leave any kind of oily or greasy residue. And if you have got oily skin, you know, it's even more important to get everything off and get things really clean, because otherwise the products that you use afterwards aren't going to work properly. You're just putting products onto dirty skin. So using something that's like a balm that breaks down into an oil that can really get in there and get rid of everything is important, especially if you have oily skin. So don't be afraid of the balm if you've got oily skin. It's suitable for everyone. Now I'm waving around this one, which is the Emma Hardy Moringa Cleansing Balm, because this is one of the first ones that I discovered that I thought, this is just so luscious to use. This one is pricey. There are lots that are not as pricey as this. More functional perhaps, less frills, you know, not so nice packaging. This one smells amazing, and I just remember using it and thinking, I can get on board with doing a long cleanse with this. And I even go in twice if I've been wearing makeup or if I've been wearing sunscreen, because I often think you don't get it off in one fell swoop. So that's the Emma Hardy one. It's gorgeous. Cleansing balm's great for everyone, and you just massage them on. Make sure you break down all of your makeup, and then use a flannel or washcloth or one of those muslin cloths that you get sometimes with the cleansers. Use one of those to take it off, and then you get a little bit of exfoliation as well with that. But it's just really effective at removing all dirt, all makeup. Second thing, salicylic acid. Now I'm holding up this one, which is the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid, but this was actually a later discovery in the whole salicylic acid arena, because the first thing that I used, and this helped to clear up my adult acne when I had it about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a bit longer than that. This is the Effaclar Duo from La Roche-Posay. Similar ingredient, they don't actually call it salicylic acid, I don't think, at La Roche-Posay. They've got their own sort of little trademarked name for it, I think. But this is an amazing all-over acne treatment cream that's non-drying, non-stripping, it's not too harsh. It differs from the US version of Effaclar Duo, by the way. So if you're watching in the US, I think your one has different ingredients and you use it on targeted areas. You wouldn't use yours all over, it'd be too drying. This one isn't drying, it's gorgeous, it works a treat. So do give that a try if you've got adult acne or hormonal or teen acne even, or you just suffer from breakouts sort of 1 week of the month. It's amazing, I think, and it's not very expensive at all. But I started off by holding up the Paula's Choice as an example of a good salicylic acid, because they do a whole range of different ones at different strengths, targeted at slightly different skin concerns. So salicylic acid is a beta hydroxy acid, BHA, and it works differently to the AHAs that you might be familiar with, like glycolic acid and lactic acid, which I'm going to go on to, in that they get really deep down into the pores. So they're also a little bit milder in a way, so they're better all round, I would say, for skin that is sort of reactive and inflamed with breakouts. So if you have acne, adult acne, that red bumpiness under the skin that's really sore, if you get any kind of redness at all, this is probably a better choice than using the glycolic or the lactic. If you're intolerant to the glycolic and lactic and AHAs, but you still want some kind of chemical exfoliant that's non-abrasive, that just sort of gently brightens the skin, again, really good choice. But mostly, first and foremost, if you have blackheads and breakouts, salicylic acid is your friend. It just gets right down there into the pores and just gives everything a good clean out. There are plenty of products out there on the market that contain salicylic acid. I just like this because it's very cost effective. You just need a little bit on cotton wool and you swipe it over, or you can pat it on, and you just put it on and leave, and then do the rest of your skincare routine. So cleanse this, use it as a toner, and then serum and moisturiser, or just moisturiser depending on what you want to use. And it's just brilliant. It's very calming on the skin as well as being exfoliating, which is, those things don't seem to sit together very well, but it's true and it works. So yeah, they do a whole range of different ones that are tweaked very slightly for different concerns. So maybe you have rosacea, there's one more specifically for that. If you've got really stubborn breakouts and very oily skin, there's another one for that. So I will put the link to the category page and you can have a little look through and see what the different ones do. But this one, the Skin Perfecting one, I think is a great all-rounder, and it feels very gentle on the skin. So I've already mentioned glycolic acid and lactic acid and AHAs, and they are a type of acid exfoliant. Sounds really scary, but it's not, and it's not as abrasive as using something like a scrub that's got bits in it of gravel or apricot seeds or whatever they put in those things. Now, there are hundreds of products on the market nowadays with AHAs in, all different price points, budget products, really expensive products, loads of different formulations, so creams and gels and liquids and wipe-on pads. And again, I'll put some suggestions below, but the Alpha H Liquid Gold was one of the first ones. In fact, it was the first one that I tried. I hadn't really heard of acids before that, and I tried it. I had an immediate brightening effect the next morning. I just thought it was miraculous, and I think it's still one of the best. It's just a very simple liquid that you wipe on and leave, or you can follow it with your serum and your moisturiser if you want to. But if you put it on and leave, that's when you get like the big effects. But yeah, so it's for brightening. You'll see probably a little bit of improvement in fine lines, but not so much as what I'm going to talk about next. And it's just generally for sort of evenness of tone. You're speeding up the cell turnover, you're taking away the dead skin cells, you're revealing the new skin cells underneath, so you're just getting that sort of fresh, brightened look. It's genius, really. I mean, it's ever so simple. Who's it suitable for? I mean, it's touted at everyone, including people who have hormonal breakouts and things like that. Personally, I think salicylic acid is better if your skin is more sensitive, if it's prone to any redness, or if you've got any kind of stubborn breakouts. I think salicylic does a better job. But that's just me. I mean, there's no harm in giving both a try. I tend not to use those together. So if I'm going to use salicylic, then usually it will be in the morning. If I'm having a sort of angsty skin time, I'll use it morning and night. The glycolic I usually only will use at night, and probably maybe 2 times a week maximum. I do follow glycolic with retinol, but that's a whole different story, so we'll go on to that in a second. Retinols! So we're gradually working our way further and further up through the things that used to terrify me. Retinol I've only got on board with this year, really. Mainly because before that I was constantly either pregnant or breastfeeding, and they're not recommended so much if you're breastfeeding, and definitely not if you're pregnant. The official line is don't use it. So, you know, that's what I should go with, being responsible. But I have to say that I did test a number of things when I was breastfeeding Ted, and it seems all right. No, joking aside, check out with whoever is advising you, not me. So retinol. Retinol is, and not many people I think would quibble with this, is like the anti-aging powerhouse. There aren't many things it doesn't do. And that might make you think, well, why the hell would I use anything else? Why are there any other creams on the market in the beauty world if retinol is the be-all and end-all? And to that I would say that there are a lot of formulas that have side effects, so flakiness, dryness, tightness, and even some of the ones that I've tried that are very expensive and incredibly well formulated, they still have little side effects that are a bit pesky, a bit annoying, and perhaps you just don't want that in your life. But I have to say that the effects of a good retinol product are undeniably great. Smooth skin, bright skin, fine lines are visibly diminished, works pretty well on, you know, getting rid of those deeper furrows and lines as well. If you've got pigmentation, if you've got unevenness in tone, if you're lacking sort of density or firmness, I mean, it is like the holy grail of all-rounder skin issues, to be honest. Historically, or until quite recently, there were lots of people using the prescription ones and having really bad side effects, like literally their faces falling off. Not their faces falling off, I don't mean literally at all, but really bad side effects, flakiness, dryness, patchiness, you know, just really unpleasant. So it's all about finding the right ones. And I have been working my way through lots of different retinols for you. I shall put some links below in the description. I have to give a special shout out to Medicate, because I went on a lab tour with Medicate, and they are sort of the forerunners in formulating things with retinol and retinol derivatives. And they're very, very clever with it and have lots of different products for different budgets, for different skin types, for different concerns. And this, the one that I'm like aimlessly wanging about, is Cristal Retinol 6. It's very, very clever. It's very strong, but they've managed to formulate it in a way that minimises side effects. So I have to bung on a really heavy moisturiser after this. But apart from that, I don't get any other side effects. I don't get any itching, any tightness, any dryness. And I just think it's really good. And it's the kind of thing that's, I mean, it's ultra high performance, but they haven't whacked the price up on this. I think it's reasonable for what it is. They're a good one to look at if you want information on retinol and using it. And their Instagram is a good one to follow, because they quite often have quite sciencey posts on there about how their products work and what you should be looking out for and things like that. So there's a tip for you there. But I shall also pop a few links to different ones that I've been trying as well at different price points, because there are loads of good ones out there. Last thing that changed my skin, hyaluronic acid. Holding in my hand the Indeed Labs Hydroluron, because this was one of the first products that I used where I really sort of sat up and took notice about hyaluronic acid. It's become quite the buzzword. It's a very powerful little ingredient. It can hold masses of water, so if you've got it on your skin, it's just helping to retain moisture in the skin, makes your skin look plumper, makes it look fresher, altogether just younger. If you've got those sort of dehydration fine lines and stuff, it really helps to plump those out, and it's suitable for everybody. So it's one of those ingredients you can put into your skincare routine without having to worry whether it's right for you. If you've got dry skin, it's right for you. If you've got acne, it's still right for you. If you've got oily skin, that can still be dehydrated. it's right for you. I'm trying to think of when you wouldn't use hyaluronic acid, and I can't really think of a time because, to be quite honest, my skin permanently feels dehydrated. And it's nothing to do with not drinking enough water, really. I just think I love the feeling of having really plumped out skin, and so I just can't get enough of it feeling hydrated. And it's just, you know, it's an easy one. So who is it for? It's for everyone. How do you use it? If it's a serum, you just pop it on after cleansing, before your moisturiser. You know, after your acid, if you're using an acid, like salicylic or glycolic. Actually, the only time I don't use it, funnily enough, is before retinol. And I think that's because I cleanse, I either do my glycolic acid or I go straight in with my retinol, but I like it to just be right there on my skin. So I don't normally do a hyaluronic with my retinol. That's just a personal preference thing. But I was just trying to think of a time when I wouldn't. And I suppose as well, if I was swapping out, if I was using a vitamin C product as a serum, I wouldn't be using hyaluronic acid. And if there was going to be a sixth product on here, then it would be vitamin C, because vitamin C is amazing, brilliant for brightening, it's a great antioxidant. But I had to do 5 because I'm weird like that. So yeah, this is my top 5. And to be honest, I don't use vitamin C as much, probably, as I do the other things. So, 5 beauty products that changed my skin. If you've got any questions, leave them below. And I'll see you next time.